Again, this is Old Man PHP. I create PHP video tutorials for the old guys who want to learn a new skill and compete with the young crowd. This is video 89. I gotta say, in this video, I have restarted 3 times, and every time I always had a problem with the computer, so I couldn't save it. Hopefully, this time I can save it. Anyway, in this video, I want to talk about object-oriented programming, OOP. The object-oriented programming is a program paradigm. I mean, it's just a concept that can be used with any languages. But since we're doing PHP, we're going to PHP, there will be PHP object-oriented programming. I just want to say one more thing, that in the future, which is in a few videos in the early future, I'm going to create a set of object-oriented programming from like the very basic. I'm going to show you the very basic right now, but I'm going to build on it and I'm going to show you all the different things. But it will be after maybe after 3 videos, because I kind of did a bunch of stuff already that I want to show you. Like with this website right here, where is it? This one right here, which you could add this technique to the template one, but since it's a sign up, like for a membership, always have it as a separate page, okay? But you can recognize this, right? How I did this before. Anyway, it's going to be a sign up, and what we're going to do is we're going to sign in, and then an object-oriented program is going to open up the database, do the old security thing, and then copy information to a database. Okay, that will be one of the videos, and that will be like maybe after, let me see, there'll be like 2 more after this one that I'm doing right now. And then I'll start the OOP, very basic, which is kind of what I'm showing you now, just today. And then of course we'll go straight to, advanced. Anyway, I do use object-oriented programming, and let's go to the actual blank page. No, not that one. Okay, that one. And I do use it, and it's mostly when for opening databases and stuff like that. I've done other works too, and what I'm going to show you today, you can use this right away, and keep it. If you want to do like very heavy dynamic object database and stuff like that, just keep watching. You should watch anyway because you learn something. And then when I do the other object-oriented programming videos, you'll learn a lot more. But for now, today, you can learn this stuff, which I created a class, right? And with this class, you can add all kinds of stuff and you can use it now on your site. As long as it's not heavy-duty stuff. So it is a concept of objects. Everything is an object: cars, lamps, food, people. That's how you're gonna look. And the objects can contain data. They're called fields. Those are like variables, like this, variables. They're called fields, attributes, or properties, and have actions that can perform like a function, but it's called method, which I have right here. It's all public. You got private, you got protected, but that I'm going to show you more details on the other videos, okay? But right now I created a class, So this is a very good idea to do, because what it does is it keeps it encapsulate all your stuff into one package. Like a class should be in a separate, like a separate file. Like when you're going to do something for an project and you're going to use object, use separate files for your separate class and all the stuff that you do with it, okay? Makes it easy, although you can add another class to this particular file too. And we'll show you that on the other ones. But for now, this is it. Now, so it organizes your software design around objects, which are instances of classes. Classes are the blueprints. Like this is a blueprint of a car. And it has properties, it has a construct, meaning that this is like that just to initialize stuff, and of course you got your that one function to help you out so we can use some of this stuff, okay? It's a function, right? You're going to use a variable. You know, you create functions in your procedural programming. You create functions. You create variables. Functions uses that variable, does all this stuff, and you already seen that already. But this is how it is organized. A little weird, but it is organized this way, and it's pretty good. So classes are blueprints. Just remember that. And the reason why I say that is because when you create an object, it'll be like this. But for now, let me just show you real quick what this class is doing. Right now, you're just creating two properties called brand and color, right? The construct is used like for initialization. Right now, this is just simple stuff right here. Because we're going to take these parameters, we're going to add it in here, and then we're going to do something with it. Where's the parameters? Where's the information? Well, we're going to do it right here. So what happens is when you create your class, now you want to create an object. So let's see, do I have anything going on over here? Okay, it's blank right now. I created an object like this, right? And to create object, remember we talked about several times. Remember PDO and all that? That's an object. And we used the word new in front of it. Remember that? Well, it's the same thing over here. See? And what I'm just saying is, I want you to take this class and I want you to send these arguments, Toyota and black, to this class. And the way it does it is that once you create this, boom, this comes alive. And then this information, Toyota becomes $brand and black becomes $color. Just to let you know that this $brand and $color is not the same as this $brand, because I can just say two like that. I just wanted to keep it simple like this. So. And it's going to use this one. So you're going to say this is going into here, this is going to, and how you do it? By doing it by using the this keyword. Now this right here, use this like this. Let me take this off like that, because it'll do that, but you get an error. So what happens is you're going to say, well, you're using this function, it's within this class. Remember how we used the word self one time? Like the self is, like I want you to use the same HTML file. Same idea. So you're saying this, meaning this class. Okay? This class. That's what that means. So, and then of course you don't need a, you don't need a $sign because it's like this. But to make it into self, as in this, then of course you add this. This is the part that you add right into it, and it's just in between. That way, when it sees this, PHP, the interpreter and all that, will look at that and say, oh, you're talking about this. And I want you to take this information and stick it in there, which is a variable, but in object-oriented programming, they like to say field, property, attribute. I know, it's crazy, right? So as I said, objects combine data, right, and the behavior stuff, which is the methods, into a self-contained unit, promoting modularity, and is reusable because you can use this over and over again, and it's easy to maintain. So when you give this to another program, he'll look at this and say, oh yeah, I know what he's doing here. And then he can continue with adding stuff to it, maybe improving it. It depends. Because when you create a project in a place, you're going to do it with a bunch of people. If you're like the only one, then fine. Like a smaller company, startups, those kind of things. You know, it's going to be just you. In the procedure program, you're going to see it's like you've seen it before, right? You're pointing to this, you're including file. I prefer that the better, but this is a good way, and I usually do use this when it comes to like the database, like putting stuff in a database, getting information from a database, updating the database, importing into a database, even deleting from a database. I like using object oriented because it's simple. You can see it. Okay, so now in this situation, you're creating an object called $car1, and this is what you're doing. You're using the class. You're sending this over to here. This information goes in there, and then the honk, which you're going to be using right here, it's going to print out. It's going to return, a sentence. And as you can see, you're saying you're using the this keyword. That means in this class. That's what that. You know what I mean? If you open up another class and you say, oh, this. Let's say if it wouldn't all medicine. Okay, I have to take my medicine a little bit. But this will be a short video. So let me just show you real quick. You create a class and then you say, okay, how do I use it? And so, okay, let's save it. And you're gonna see there's nothing there. It doesn't do anything because remember, when you create stuff and you don't invoke it, it doesn't do anything. It just creates it, puts it in memory, just waiting for you to invoke it. And this is how you invoke them. So if you took this out, this is how you call, this is how you want to use a function, but in this case, method, you can have you can have a whole bunch of them. And this is how you call it. Since you're using car, which is this, see how you got the little thing there? Then you're going to use the method. If you wanted to see properties, then you will use, you want to edit this, you will put, let me see. Let's put, what is it? Dollar brand. Maybe we'll do it on the first one. It is brand, not dollar brand. Now, like that. And because it's public. Now, if this would have been private, you could get to it, but only the class can get to it. So like when you're doing a whole bunch of stuff and you're using this to return something else, or you will make this into a private. Then you got the protected one. It's like the protected one. It's the same thing, kind of like private, but you can use it within other classes. Like you could do the inherits, like another class can inherit. But I'm not want to get too ahead of myself because I'm going to be showing you that. So let me see. Right now, what we got. So I wanted to see the brand. I want to see what this is, and then you want to see the sentence. You want this to run so you can return a sentence like BB. So let me see. I saved it already. Oh no, I did not. All right. So you go here. Let me first of all, let me bring this down a bit so you can see it. There you go. Yeah, my computer failed yesterday. I had to reboot the whole thing. Hey, there you go. So let me give it a little help here. Remember, this is jumps. There's a space. Let's save it. Boom. See? Toyota. Did I spell that right? Toyota. Oh, yeah, that's spelled right. See? This, I wanted to know what was the thing, Toyota, and I wanted to run the method. As you can see, it's a function looking thing. And return this, see, this, whatever color that was, black, and the brand goes BP. So kind of stupid, but the black Toyota goes beep beep, and then you got your people. Now, if I made this into a private, Just this time, all right? Because we're going to be talking about that on the other one. Boom. See, it didn't work. It will. Usually, I get a. This is, you know, Chrome here, so this is how it does. But if I wanted to make it work, what do you do? Because I'm using that information, I want to make it public so that way this gets to use it and this gets to use it. That's why I did this. Otherwise, you can't use this. Alright, so let's see. Save it. Let's go back to it. And of course, and that's it. So we reached the bottom of this. Oh, let me try the other one too. I did a second one. I told you can create as many objects as you want. This is that. I could just say boom, 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 boom. Okay, let's see. Let's put a bunch of stars here. Let's put a couple of lines. Let's break. And let's do this. Let's add that to it. And let's change this to a 2 because we have created another object for 2. It's pretty good though, you know what I mean? See, Honda. Yeah, it's going to jump to the next slide, but it's okay. Because the style, this style of programming promotes code real usability, right? We can always use it, real usability. We're going to use a special that method that I mentioned, the construct. That's, I don't know if I did mention it, right? That it automatically gets called. The moment you create an object, it automatically gets called. That's what that is. And then, of course, when you initialize, right, a property, this is what this is. Initializing. This could be, of course, this initializes stuff. But this is like assigning, creating it, and just keeping it there, and then you're going to use it. The construct automatically gets created when you create the object. It's pretty good. It's a good setup task thing. And then there's another one called a deconstruct, which when you get out complete, let's say when things are finished, you do the housekeeping. Housekeeping means that, you know, clean up some stuff, close some databases, do different things, and maybe put out a message saying something. And like I mentioned, when you create another class, right, and you want to use, let's say if I create another class called trucks, then it can use it. And the way to do that is by, I can say like this, class truck. And then what you do is you use this word called extends. And then you're extending this truck into this car. You're going to use it. So you're going to say car, make sure you spell it right, caps, right? And then you go like this, see? That's how you use it. So if you wanted to use honk, you can use it. But I'm going to show you that on the other one. It's just a good keyword to know. It's, you know, when you create the child classes, it can access the public stuff, or it can access the protected stuff, but it can't access the private stuff. The only stuff that's within the class can access it. There is a way, there is a runabout to get that. It's called a get in a set. Anyway, so we reached the bottom. Hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. You know, all this time I've been showing you the procedure programming and writing procedures or methods that perform operation on the data. Remember, you've been seeing that. I prefer to do it that way. I don't know, I just like it because it reminds me of the early days when I was doing active server pages. You could do object-oriented that. I was doing COBOL, Fortran. I used to see, it was kind of like, it was like procedural type, which I always enjoyed the most. I don't know why. I guess it's because it was more involved, more this one is more clean, And as long as you know the rules, then you can inheritance. There's the when you can create another like another hunk, like you can do this and put it in here. If you wanted to use this stuff, you can, as long as it's public, right? You can use it. Then over here, you can do this. So, and then you can, I don't know, be a different thing. And then when you start calling it, like the truck, once you create a truck one, then you're gonna get this information. But if you don't do this, then it'll use this one if you call it. All because you extended it to the car. Anyway, we reached the bottom. If you like what I said and you understand what I'm talking about, please give me a like. That always helps me out. Subscribe or put a comment down in the description. This little thing, even though it's just small, you can, I mean, believe it or not, you can use this right now. Let's check this out. You can use this type of technique right now because you could create all kinds of properties, right? That will be your variables, and you can do the construct. That's like the stuff that you want to do in the beginning. No, you don't even have to, but it's a good idea to have. And then you can have all kinds of functions to do this, to call this, and all that, as long as it stays within the class. And then once you create an object, right? Then from there you can use this type of thing to print out stuff. You know, you can put it within the sentence of your PHP file, like the HTML stuff, and stick it in there. I mean, you can do stuff like this. Let's say this was a like right here. Let's say you was like this. Let's say, you know, it's a more involved, right? You can kind of go like this, and you've seen this, right? Oops, sorry. Boom, boom. Okay, and you can stick it right in there like this. See? And you can use it now. You don't have to wait for any fancy stuff. Once you start getting into, oh, I'm gonna open up a there. That's why on the next video I'm gonna show you the same type of thing, but more involved, showing you the inheritance and all that stuff. Then on the following of that video will be the actual object oriented, how to get into opening the database and getting yourself ready for that sign up form. Then once that is done, I'll give you all the stuff about object oriented programming, and I'll break it down more with details. It'll be easier. I know it's confusing, but right now you can use this. Okay, you'll see what I mean. Anyway, we reached the bottom. Just be careful out there. Give me a comment and give me a likes. Thank you, and a good night.